Hey YouTube. Good morning YouTube. Well, it's the afternoon now. It's 1:45. Good afternoon YouTube. All right, as you can see from my title, I'm going to give you some updates and what I've been doing for this week. So, as some of you know, I'm no longer doing Instacart anymore, but they're still looking into my account, supposedly. Who knows? But anyways, I just want to see who's on. I miss y'all. I'm so used to going online, and I will be seeing the usual people that I enjoy talking to and speaking with. Okay, who's this? New from Miss Sensation. See, I'm on my laptop, so I'm not on my phone. So you may see me occasionally look at my phone and turn that down. So anyway, you may see me on my phone looking because I get these updates when people are online, and look at hers later. So anyway, so I usually view other people's videos, just see what they up to, checking on them, trying to get the latest tea, what's going on in these gig economies. But ain't really much been happening, you know, in terms of Uber. Now, oh, let me tell you about that. Hey, one viewer. So let me tell you about that. So remember I tell you about a couple weeks ago, I said I was going to renew, um, see if they was going to let me go back to Uber Eats. And I was just so happened to be at that 1 year mark where I had to update my documents. So of course I went down to the local office, spoke to some ratchet girl at the office up there in Claremont, and they're telling me we can't renew your um, Uber Eats. I told them to delete the account. I said I am not going to drive people. I'm not going to do anything if So there's no point giving me promotions. Ain't no point telling me to drive and go downtown and go to Virginia Highlands and Buckhead and every place else. Hey, two viewers. Let me see if I need to see who's on here. Let me look. See who's in the chat. To list all available comments, enter. Let me put dance for the hey. I hope I can see these dang comments. I hate not having to see anything. Well, anyway, comment in the chat so I can see, so I can read your comments and chat. Because unlike the phone, you have to somehow hoover over the chat area to see people's comments. I like to know what y'all talking about because see a lot of y'all jump on there and y'all be talking amongst yourselves, which I don't mind, but I like to know if anybody have any questions or issues. So anyway, let me give you the updates. So as some of you know, I had to start a new account. It was time for me to update my registration and license and everything else with Uber anyway. So for me to get on with Uber Eats, I had to start off with a new account and strictly say I want to do Uber Eats. I don't want to do the regular platform. I don't want to do Uber X. I don't want to drive. So I got reinstated. Actually, I had to get reinstated. They've actually signed me back on to do Uber Eats. And another thing to let y'all know, Uber Eats and Uber, those are two separate, I want to say it's two separate companies. I just can't really explain it, but it's almost like two separate companies. It's not the same thing. It's a totally different company. And it's separate from the regular Uber. So it's not the same, and it's not the same, run by the same people, put it that way. Because when I signed up, I got approved this week. I think it was on Wednesday. I want to say Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. But I haven't left the house. This whole entire week I've been at home, chilling, trying to clean up, trying to catch up on my house chores, and just ain't put a dent in any of those things yet. Because now I've been sitting around the house working on my business. Yes. So I've worked on my website, and the only thing I need to do now is pay for the domain, which is going to be 1099 TPS tax and consulting services. And already I have my first client, one of the YouTube subscribers. And if you're here in Atlanta, I'll be glad to meet with y'all. And I also wrote my first blog post as well. So my first blog that I wrote was the difference between a tax preparer and a tax consultant or advisor, and how it could save you some money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, it's on my WordPress, but I'll be using WordPress as the, where I'll be writing some blogs, and I'll also be having, my website will also be launched. But once I go, I've been debating between HostGator and this other company called Bluehost. Now I decided to go with Bluehost, not because it's cheaper, it's because, one, they've been around for a very long time, and two, they offer it has some excellent reviews, 99% in terms of speed, in terms of the technology, in terms of things that you need to look at when you want to develop a website. So you want to look into, I see a lot of people on YouTube channels, they say, I have a website, and when I go there, it's not even on, you can't even pull it up. It's not even searchable on the web. It's not searchable on Google, and then in actuality, it's not even secured, So a lot of times, what I mean by that is when you go to HTTPS, that S at the end of that P means it's secured, meaning that any information you put on, on that person's website, nobody won't be able to compromise it. So a lot of times people develop websites and want to offer different services, but it's not secured. And then not only on top of it not being secure, the website is a little bit kind of messy. It's not, I'm not saying my website could be so professionally done, but WordPress is one of the most advanced, popular, and they take it's like 65% of their websites is developed on WordPress. So there's a difference between using WordPress to write a blog, and then there's a difference between actually using WordPress to launch your video, or your website rather. So let me see if I can share y'all on the screen quickly. Let me go ahead and share it and let y'all look at it, see what y'all think. And it's not published yet, so it's not posted. You can't go on, go to Google and search for it right now, but it will be done probably either tomorrow. I've been playing around with 2 different websites, going on Yahoo Business, and I actually liked it when I did it on that Yahoo. But let me show y'all both. Let me see if I can pull it up, share it with y'all, and tell me what y'all think. I hate this. It looks so crazy. Come on. What is that thing? See, I don't understand when you share a screen, they always show these seem like you can never get to the dang screen. I don't know what y'all saw. Because this thing, let's just say you could share. And then when you go onto the screen, I can't actually see what you're seeing. But let me try this. Let me try this one more time. Okay, y'all see this right here? All right, this is my blog that I wrote on my WordPress. And oops. Difference between tax preparer and tax consultant advisor, why it can save you money. I wrote that yesterday. And then you can see my name, business name. We go to the menu, go to about, and then use, oops, that's not finished. And you see my picture, it tells you to welcome. And, of course, I'll be on these different social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram. Okay, so you'll see here how I have. All right, I don't know what y'all saw. Hopefully y'all saw just enough. But I wish y'all could comment. Tell me what you think. It's not finished. It's far from being, well, put it this way, it's 50% finished. But the first thing I have to do is to register my domain name and publish it on a host. There ain't no point doing no website if you don't have it, if you don't have a hosting company. And I've been going back and forth between two hosting companies, and I finally decided I'm going to use the Bluehost. It seems more, I know a lot of people seen some videos of some people were demonstrating how to do a website in regards to expanding their business when they were doing Uber. But the person video was just too dang long for one, and two, it was too confusing, and then um, it wasn't. It was just too much, you know. So it was just too much. But yeah, that's where I'm at this process. I've been um, working on my website, working on my business, you know, focusing on my strengths, which is empowering, educating, and inspiring 1099 and self-employed and small business in this gig economy in regards to taxes, financial planning. So I will be spending a lot of my time building my business because, you know, we don't know what's going to happen in 2 years. We don't know what's going to happen in 1 year. You know, we may enter another big depression where it's going to be worse than the last one. And the reason why I say that is because we're not going to lose our jobs because it's going overseas, it's going to other countries or whatever. The economy is going to be lost because of computers, automation, you know, artificial intelligence. You know, that's what's going to be a devastating thing for people. It ain't gonna be just poor people gonna be affected, but it's gonna be worse. It's going to affect those people who, you know, you once thought that having a um, regular job that's in demand and cushiony and it's not going anywhere. It's being taken over, not by other people too. It's being taken by computers. You know, just like with this Uber and Lyft and all the other gig economy, even a simple job like delivering groceries and food, they want to automate that. Going to the grocery store, you no longer have a person who could, a clerk who could help you find the groceries or ring up your groceries. Now you're doing it yourself. Going to the grocery store, you ring it up yourself, you're bagging it yourself, you're taking it to your car by yourself. You know, there's no personal service. There's no person doing that anymore. You know, even teaching. Think about going to school. They want to now, you simply thinking you're going to a school classroom, now you could do that online. You know, you could go online, you could download all your lessons. You no longer have to go to a brick and mortar classroom and sit there with 200 other people in a big assembly hall learning, um, you know, introduction to psychology, you know, and have a professor there to um, facilitate lectures and have graduate assistants. Now, now everything is geared towards on the cloud. You know, you could download lessons on the cloud. You write your papers, and then you have that one person to, um, you know, give you a grade. Even then, even the way how that's done is not done in the traditional way like it used to be for school. And I can tell you that the vote person in part of education, when they want to talk about, we want to take away public education, public schools, and they want to privatize schools and charter schools and everything else. Now, teaching is not going to be such a guarantee. You know, it's always going to be public education, but if you allow these government officials to take over something such as public school, now there's some problems with public schools, you know, but it has nothing to do with the teachers. It has nothing to do with the way students learn or anything else. All it has to do with what resources and money they wish to give and to whom they're giving it to. They want to capitalize public schools from elementary school all the way up to high school. They want to, you know, capitalize and have make money off of the public school systems, and everybody's fighting over charter school versus public school and busing students and everything else. But when in all reality is that um, they want to cut the funding of public schools and they want to privatize it and have somebody else make the money. You know, that's all that is. And then teachers' salaries are being drastically reduced and cut based on public taxes, which your local government pays in millage rates, determine how much of the, how much property taxes that one pays will go and be allocated to schools. Even that's being challenged. So you see, everything in every sector of society is being changed. Truck driving. Now they got in ways where you don't even automated truck driving is going to be on the road. And a lot of people say, "Oh, that's dangerous. That's not going to happen. I don't know. It's not going to be, or whatever." You know, everybody's always, professing about, "Oh, it's safety. Ain't nobody going to be, ain't no automated cars. I can't see that happening." People sitting back saying you don't see it happening. And you're going to see your job go right away. That's not far-fetched. That's not unusual. I don't find, and that ain't something that's going to take 20 years to do it either. It ain't 20 years that all this thing's going to happen. They're doing it now. I was watching the show. I told someone yesterday it was a TV show on what was it? Not Discovery Channel. What's that thing? That scientific National Geographic or something like that. And it was it was a show that they had on the year 1 million. Not to say it's going to be 1 million years, but it was a program where they was talking about how artificial intelligence and every component of one's society is going to change. They said people, everything they're doing now, they showed how scientists and not computer programmers, what they call them, they got special things they call people. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to tell you. Let me see if I can see something, if I can Google it and show y'all what I'm talking about. Ain't nobody chatting. Where y'all at? Yeah, okay. Let me see something here. I'm curious. I am curious to see that that's the web hosting company I'm going to be using, Bluehost. Once I start and sign up, I'm going to go ahead and share this with other people who wants to start their own website. So let me see. I'm going to National Graphic Near Million. Ah, All right, yeah, I don't know what y'all saw, but the name of the show that was on National Geographic was called Year Million, and it basically explores the future of humanity, of the changes and of what all this technology is going to have. And it was quite interesting. I really was like amazed by the things that they're doing now. And they said that they're working on things now, from medicine to just saying how people are not going to die and how they're going to live for 200 years. I mean, it was a whole bunch of things. It was almost as if they were messing with humanity. And the way how the show ended was how they was going to explore outer space. They were going to harbor that. They said that the world resources was being so used, destroyed, and in years and years and millions of years of how people I don't want to say destroyed the earth, but they didn't take care of the earth. And resources like water and pollution of the air and everything. They said that they had to explore new journeys and how people were moving to live on other planets. Now, recently, over the last couple of years, you heard a lot of people talk about they want to explore the moon. Not the moon, Mars. And how they were developing this spacecraft to go out to the moon and find living organisms and exploring people who wanted to pay $1 million just to get on a spaceship and live in the universe, living out of space. They're doing that now. I saw something like that a few months ago. How they were taking reservations for people to get on the spaceship, and you could just pack up all your stuff and leave the Earth and just live in outer space. They showed that, and they doing that right now. Right now. The government is they're not going to speak about the space program and billions of dollars that's been spent in so many administrations. I mean, from the time the United States wanted to compete against Russia to see who's going to be able to land on the moon first, back in the 60s, Sputnik and the man on the moon and Kennedy, we always been in some damn competition with Russia. I can assure you, every single damn administration has dealt with Russia and competing with Russia, frenemies. That's what I like to say. The United States and Russia are frenemies. They like to say, oh, no, we don't agree. But then they turn around, they are for the same agenda, the same capitalism. I don't care how many people like to debate about, oh, we're not socialists. Man, please. United States and Russia, they all are the same cut of the same cloth. And then this situation with Trump and Russia, and come on. Give me a break. But anyway, just look up that, Google it. You'll see 1 million. And then the thing ironic is the family that they are showing living these lives of this new futuristic life are black. Yeah, they black. Yeah, they black. Yeah, black. No light skin, but still. Little brown, but they still black. And I just find it amazing. Just go ahead and look at it. If you got cable, you can always go back and watch previous episodes. But watch it. Tell me what you think. I should have done a dang YouTube channel about that program, but I enjoyed it very much. So, anyways, that's what I'm doing. So, if you saw my preview of my website, hopefully it worked out. Maybe you saw a little glimpse of it. that was quite, that's what I've been doing this whole entire week. And probably sometime today, maybe today, this not tonight, this evening, I'm going to do Uber Eats. I'm going to do Uber Eats. You know, I'm still pursuing that issue with Instacart. Matter of fact, I made to call some other attorneys and lawyers because I'm not letting you in just getting away with that mess. You're not. But I don't know. I spoke to a representative and he said that it shows that, your record was pretty good and it went to some panel and they're probably looking into, they said that they had so many people accounts were the disabled that they were looking into and they just haven't got to mine yet. And they have a panel of people they need to either they're going to try to consider or whatever the case may be. We'll see. But I mean, like I said, I guess they want people to kiss their ass and thinking you're supposed to beg and plead for, let me get my job back, please. No. I know I didn't do anything wrong. And to be honest with you, I think that Instacart has ran its course. I just think it's a matter of about a few more months. That's it. They call themselves getting this new account with some high-class store. But let me tell you, I doubt very much that people's going to want to pick up from these type of stuff, some floor or whatever. Ain't nobody going to shop there on a regular basis like that. They not. I'm even surprised they even got that account. And like I said, stores like that, with all the way how these stores are, these brick and mortar stores going out of business, it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Like I said, I'm still waiting for Amazon. Once Amazon gets in there with that whole food situation, once that whole thing is finalized, that's it. You ain't gonna hear too much from Instacart. Whole Food was one of the largest investors. Matter of fact, that little 13 million or whatever amount of money they got from the last round, that money was only going to last for probably about a good, not even a year. And once they sell that class action suit, that $13 million class action suit in the fall, that's it. I hope Instacart goes under and fails miserably. They may be evaluated at some billions of dollars, but the way how they treating people and the way they treating their shoppers, I'm telling you, all Uber Eats need to do is, once Uber gets into the realm of that grocery shopping delivery service and Amazon gets into the mix, you can forget it. Instacart is gone. Ship too. I've been following the Facebook groups. I've been hearing people sitting back complaining, talking about they didn't get no orders and it's slow. And it's a Saturday. They talk about slow. And how many times and how often do you think people's going to continue to go to the Atlanta market, getting paid $5-6 for delivery, to pick up some groceries and going up to some dang high-rise condos, gated communities, lugging up bags of groceries, and then these damn ass people don't even know how to give a damn tip. How far do you think that's going to go? To be honest with you, I may have had my reservations about Uber Eats, but one thing I can say for sure, it ain't that much effort to take a bag of food, of fast food or whatever, and simply attempt to deliver it, and then if they live in a place where it's so inconvenient to drop off that bag, you could call them up and says, well, I have your food. Can you come down, meet me at the curb? I'll be pulling up, blah, blah, blah. And if they want to act a fool, the only thing you're losing with Uber Eats is that drop-off fee. Because remember, it's 3 parts of that fee they pay you. Going to the store, picking up the food, and dropping it off. Or something like that. It's a 3-part thing, you know. So if you didn't do that last part and say, person's not there, you know, or whatever happened, and you say you marked it not delivered, then that dollar or whatever you may not get. You may not get that extra fee for not completing the trip. But other than that, what can you do? Now, that's why I said I'm going to do it a little bit differently this time around. And I'm going to do what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a 6-hour, 7-hour block one day. 6, 7 hours. I'm just going to, I'm going to focus around Stone Mountain area where I live. Wait around during the evening time. And I'm going to see how many orders can I get in an hour's time. Because, when I did it about a month ago, and I started doing Uber Eats again, and I didn't realize that they had expanded so way out like they used, because they used to be always in Dunwoody. They always be in Sandy Spring. They're in town, inner city. They didn't expand out in the suburbs when I first started a year ago. When Uber Eats came to Atlanta, or in most markets, they didn't expand. Well, I could only speak for Atlanta. I can't speak for anywhere else. But in Atlanta, they used to only be in one central place, which was North Drew Hills, Emory area, Brookhaven, downtown. That was it. Everybody from their mother came out of nowhere, and if they wanted to do Uber Eats, you had to go to Buckhead, Brookhaven, somewhere over there, in that general area. North Drew Hills, when people started saying, when people started making videos, everybody was congregating around downtown Decatur. Everybody was congregating around there. And then when I used to go there, in that, that's the area I used to go to all the time. North downtown Decatur, North Drew Hills, that whole little general vicinity. And when I went there, you used to see Postmates and Uber Eats and Grubhub and everybody else in the same stores, in the same restaurants, doing the same things. And it was so dang crowded last summer when I did it. It was like, God dang, everybody should have spread out. Everybody didn't have to be in the same vicinity, but then they didn't have Stone Mountain. They didn't have Gwinnett. They didn't have Suwannee Cumming and Alpharetta. They didn't have all those places. And they surely didn't have McDonald's. So now the area is so vast in Atlanta and so spread out. For you to cover any of those zones, it's going to take way more people to do Uber Eats. And a lot of people ain't want to do Uber Eats. Some people don't want to do Uber Eats. They don't say, I don't want to do food. They want to pick up people because they think that you can make more money driving people. And maybe that's true, Maybe you could go downtown. Maybe you could go down to the SunTrust baseball stadium, or when the football season starts, maybe you feel like going to these places, you make more money. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you get a big ride and you get like $20, $25, depending on if you're picking up from downtown, you're going all the way out to the suburbs, or going to a very congested place where people may need rides, go to Virginia Highlands, go to Piedmont Park, people be walking around downtown, really do Uber, go to the hotels. Eh, that's fine and dandy, but it ain't for me. Me picking up people, nope. And I did pretty good when I did that with people. But in my opinion, I'm not trying to buy. Well, right now I do have to buy another car, probably in the next year or two, or year and a half, maybe two. But I'm not doing no Uber leasing. I'm not doing that either, and I'm not renting no car for no 1 day or 2 days. That's just me. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it because one thing for sure is that you end up increasing your insurance premiums for one, and two, if you're going to have to buy another car, you might as well set some money aside. If I did Uber for a whole year, I would put some money aside somehow. I would somehow say to myself, you know what? Let me go ahead and put aside maybe $2,000, go to a car dealership and buy a used car. Well, matter of fact, don't even go to a car dealership. Go to Carvana, get a car, and you could get, even with the worst of credit, you could get a nice little Volt or whatever those little small little cars, not Volt. You get a real basic, simple car with Carvana and pay $239 a month car payment. And if you have bad credit and they said put down $1,000, $2,000 down towards the price, that's the best bet. Not leasing no damn car. I wouldn't dare do that. Lease a car. Now, if I'm gonna lease it, it truly ain't gonna be through Uber. Uber already got people's money. They want to offer you this kind of service. They want to offer you that kind of service. They want to offer you this type of insurance, and they want you to get this kind of health plan, whatever. But then they turn around and say, "Oh, we'll just take it out your pay. We'll take it out your pay every week." So what's the point? I'm paying for services that other people want to solicit to Uber. And you know that those other companies has a client base by doing that. You figure this how many drivers that do Uber across the United States? Let's say 1 million, just for the sake of numbers. And a company wants to partner with Uber and say, we want to offer some disability type of insurance for your drivers. And what we'll do is for 2 cents a mile, or 3 cents a mile, or 10 cents a mile, you just pay into the service. You know how much that is if you drive 20,000 miles a year, if you are a person who do Uber full time. Well, let's say you do it part time. Let's say that's 10,000 miles. 10,000 miles at 5 cents a mile. They want to offer you some kind of insurance. You end up paying for something $700, $800 a year. And I'm being real cheap when I make up those numbers. And you figure that, everybody ain't going to do it. But you figure you have 50,000 people who may sign up because they say, oh, well, you know what? It's cheaper for me because I can't afford to have, to get, I don't know if it's disability insurance. I don't know what the hell it's called. I can't remember. All I know is when I briefly looked at it and some people said they're going to opt into it, I'm quite sure that underwriters and people, statisticians, and people who run the numbers, they know. They know they have the numbers, they have the statistics. They know that most of the time people pay for insurance 2-3 years. You're never going to use it. You pay for something 2-3 years, and say it costs you $1,200 a year, and you drive for Uber for like 2 years or so, or something happens in 2 years, and Uber says, "Oh well, you know what? We're out of the Uber business, no more." You think they're gonna give you back that $2,400 that you spent in 2 years for this insurance policy that you never even use? It's just like your insurance policy when you buy a house. But see, that's not the same thing. Because I bought insurance for my house, but when that tree fell on my house a few months ago, Liberty Mutual had to cut me a check. On the previous 4 years before that, when they had hail damage, wind or something, they had to give me a brand new roof. And I turned around and got me an upgrade. So in the 8 years that I've lived in my house, I have filed 2 major claims dealing with that damn roof. Both was accidents of God. But Liberty Mutual was saying, okay, I'm going to be living in this house even for 20 years, but I'm paying them 20 years. They only paid out my claim twice. Even if this house was to burn down to the ground and I have a rider for any upgrade cost of when products go up, increase in price, trust me, I paid that insurance company way more money than the money that they gave me in the settlements claims. I'll be paying way more money to them before I pay into that claim. You know? Now, if I turn around and sell this house, then whoever purchased this home from me, they're going to look up the records and say, oh, this house had 2 claims for the roof. You know, they're going to increase the premiums on whoever insured a house. And it's not just this house, it's anything. So why would I opt into something that Uber offers for driving? Now, yeah, you're driving your car, you're subject to getting into a car accident, or something may happen to you, or whatever the case may be. But if you have proper insurance, life insurance policies, you know, my mother has life insurance policies. Me and my sister, you know, each of each other, and I know I had a life insurance policy somewhere with some, you know, but you know, that's a whole new topic. That's a whole new topic. And you know what? I'm going to start writing about that. That's going to be one of my services that I'm going to be offering with my tax and consulting services. Yes, I'm going to do taxes. I'm going to do tax planning and everything else. But I'm also going to do some research about insurance as an independent contractor, self-employed individuals. You know, if I find that there was a good product or service that I feel that I could endorse, or someone I know who offers that services, and I feel that is beneficial for my fellow ride-sharing 1099 gigs peoples, I'm going to let y'all know. Because, you know, I'm a very diligent, not diligent. Yeah, I'm diligent, but I'm the type of person, I do my research. I'm very good at explaining services to people. I'm very good at deciphering any type of information or policies or anything of such. You know, I don't rely on what I hear from uneducated YouTubers who simply obviously don't have the understanding, you know? And what I mean by that is you will never hear me say or justify any type of program that I know myself that I'm not gonna buy. If Teresa didn't buy it, I'm not gonna sit here and tell nobody else about it. Point blank. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not going to do that. So for me, I rather um, ask all the pertinent questions I need to ask, do all the research, compare, read for myself, read for your own understanding. That's what I like to say. Read for your own understanding. Don't go by what someone else say or do, because everybody's situation is always going to be the same. Everybody's circumstance, everybody living arrangements, everybody's money ain't going to be the same. Somebody says, "Oh, I made $1,000 driving Uber," but they live in Los Angeles. But in Atlanta, you can only make about, say, 800. For one thing, those are two different markets. Those are two clearly different um, price points you make. $1,000 a month in rent in Atlanta, you can live in a house. But $1,000 rent in Los Angeles, you live in a shoebox. So it ain't the same. Atlanta wants to become another so-called metropolis, New York, I guess you could say. Or they want to become a mini LA with their film industry. Atlanta trying to become two different cities and put it together. But in actuality, Atlanta is still a small southern metropolis city run by crooked politicians who simply want to push out the regular folks that brought on Southern hospitality. And that's it. That's it. So right now, what I want to do is, just give you an update about what I'm doing. And, I interviewed over the phone with SunTrust for a different position. So I have to see what that's going to bring and bestow on my future. But right now, I say to myself, you know what, Teresa? Concentrate on working your own business. That's been my goal. That's been my desires. And I know my talents is helping people financially. Even though I no longer work for the service center, when I worked at the IRS, I wasn't allowed to do any type of business related to taxes. You couldn't even charge anyone. Everything, all this times I've been helping people, answering people's questions, and people calling me at home on the phone, asking me, "Oh, Teresa, I got this letter. I can't get a hold of the IRS." Regardless of the fact that, I got home from work, worked all day, listened to people complaining, listened to dang uneducated, backwards managers who can't write a complete sentence or so much speak proper, that I still help people. I still offered free services for years. Because number one, I couldn't charge no one. And number two, it was illegal. Point blank. And and I never got anything from that. Never, 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 never. Since most coworkers of mine, or former coworkers of mine, you call them up on the phone and ask them, well, I can't get a hold of them on the phone and I need help. Can you help me? They wouldn't help you. They won't tell you shit. They ain't gonna tell you nothing. Don't even call them. Don't even breathe IRS to anybody about, especially when they off from work. Don't even do it. Don't even ask. But me, I went out there and I helped people anyway because I enjoy doing it. And people say, well, what can I do to help you? I say, no, I can't accept anything. Now, some people would have been on the slick, do it, but I wasn't taking that risk. Now, I'm losing my job at that time to do for that, not for that. But I assure you, people lost their job for starting businesses while working at the IRS. So you know what? Me not being at the IRS anymore probably was for the best. It was probably for the best because, one, I would have never been able to offer my services and based on my experience, education, to open up my own consulting firm. Especially doing a consulting firm that specialized in a new type of gig economy. This 1099 gig economy is new. It's even new for the IRS. And with all the changes that's occurring, that's happening, even when I was there a year ago, they're not answering no questions. They are not answering no phones. They're not going to answer no tax law questions. They want everybody that has any problems or issues or concerns to go to that irs.gov website. People will say, well, how do I do this? How do I do that? Go to the website. Or hire an accountant. That's what they'll tell you. Hire an accountant or go to the irs.gov website. That's it. They're not telling you anything. If people got letters and they have explanation and they want to call on the phone, they wait on the phone for hours. Hours. That's why I tell people, if you read my post, go to my post, 1099taxes.com/WordPress. I'm going to launch my official website, and it's going to I'm going to include a lot of, I'm going to write a lot of my experiences. I'm going to write a lot of post blogs on some is going to be a mixture of my experiences and some's going to be information purposes. What is it, if you're in extreme hardship, what is it that I could, what is it can I do? What can I do? How do I proceed to go ahead? I've worked in taxpayer advocate services. I was the liaison, put it that way. I could tell people how to navigate, how to go through, how to cut the system and get anything you want. And I'm going to tell you that one secret of what it is that people could do. But you're going to have to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my blog, to my website. Once I launch it, I'm going to make a formal introduction. I'm going to make a video. I'm going to tell you what I do. I'm going to tell you what kind of services I'll be providing. I will be telling you services that charges that I'll be charging. Ain't going to be nothing, expensive, extravagant. Let me tell you. A lot of people say, I have an accountant. I already got this person who does my return. I got a person who do this. I have a person who's done this for years. And if you want to really evaluate if I feel that they offer a good service, and I'm not going to tell you, oh, no, this person is totally wrong, and you need to come to me. Because I may not be able to help you. I'm not going to be able to help everybody, put it that way. But I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I'm going to give you more of an insight. I'm going to tell you if you have a question and you say you decide to go somewhere, I'm going to tell you how to approach it Don't just go to a tax firm and just drop off your stuff at the end of the year and don't ask no questions. Because when something happens, that person who did your return, that you ain't gonna see them nowhere to be found. People only work 3-4 months out of the year, and then after that, you don't hear from them, you don't speak to them, or nothing of the sort. They can't call them back on the phone about nothing. Some people got relatives helping doing a return. Oh, so and so, my aunt and my uncle and my sister, they do return taxes. Yeah, taking a course at H&R Block does not make you an expert. They just make you a person who will input and input stuff in the computer. But if something happens, you get that letter, and they ask you. And let me tell you, the IRS don't send no letter in the beginning of the year. They'll, depending on if they're holding your return from the get go, they asking you to submit information and identify yourself or whatever the case may be. That process could take 45 days, 6 weeks, 8 weeks for them to even get hold of you. But if you have a hardship or you have an issue that comes up and you say, I need my money XYZ right now, you don't even know how to go about it. But I do. I'll tell you, I know. That person did your return, they're not going to spend that time on the phone with the IRS. They're not going to sit there and call on your behalf and wait on the phone for hours. They're going to be like, I can't get a hold of nobody. I can't, I've been waiting on the phone. Those people at Jackson Hewitt, H&R Block, and these small little tax firms, they are a cash money cow. Their purpose is to charge anywhere from $200, $300 for a simple return and try to do as many returns in the 3-4 months, make their little $20,000, $30,000, or whatever, and move on and go about their business. That's it. So I'm going to stop my broadcast now, and I enjoy all those who've seen this video. Now, oops. So leave a comment below, share the video with others who may find it beneficial. And I'll keep you updated. I'm still working on that website. But like I said, prepare yourself right now. Prepare yourself right now. So when next year come around, you don't have to be scrambling. You don't have to be, well, I went to this person and and you be satisfied for a little bit of nickels and dimes. As long as you didn't owe, you're satisfied. Don't be satisfied. Because I know a lot of people started doing Uber and Instacart and all these gig jobs last year, like myself. Y'all didn't do it long enough. You only did it, maybe 3-4 months. And then this year was the first year that you may be doing it for a whole year. That's a big difference between just starting 2-3 months prior before the end of the year, or even a half year. It's a whole big thing when you did it in January. Here we are in July. And even if you have another job, you still had income from a 1099, and you don't know what's going to happen at the end of the year. You're just saying, well, I know I paid enough tax. Let me tell you, a tax preparer, and I wrote this in my blog. Like I said, go to 1099taxes.com/WordPress. And you're going to see a blog written out. It may be incomplete when you look at it because it's not published. So you have to, when you go to WordPress.com and WordPress.org, those are two different things that I've come to understand. Anybody who tells you, oh, just adjust your tax withholdings on your W-2, on your W-4, you'll be fine. That's a tax preparer. A tax consultant tells you what to do year round to strategize your taxes and saving your taxes, not just for one tax year, but for the rest of your working life. That's the difference. There's a big difference. But anyways, it was a nice talking to y'all. I hate the fact that I don't see no comments, but that's okay. Maybe it's something else I did. But I get used to this Google Hangout. Oops. I get used to this Google Hangout. And I guess I'll talk to y'all later. I'll stop the broadcast and finish doing what I need to be doing. All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.